ready to go in
Yeah.
celebration. Oh, but this is also, I'm sorry, Ted. I'm sorry, Robbie. But that, here it is. So it's a stated APAC spending. So right here, it says the Senate race in Michigan has been, right here, the Senate race in Michigan has been deluged by about $60 million in outside spending for Ms. Stevens. More than half of that came from APAC Super PAC.
Yep.
They're buying our
The
elections.
thing is, there's basically 30 million plus that's officially APAC, and then there's 30. Obviously, less so in the Upper Peninsula, in the rural areas, and more so in Detroit. So, I think this is Saeed's to lose, though.
Well, that's what they're saying. And what's even wilder about this is they make the point of APAC being a scarlet letter for Stevens. They're basically taking the money, damaged her campaign materially.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh,
she probably would have prevailed tonight, or at least, look, she might prevail. I don't think she will, but she might have prevailed easily, if not for accepting that APAC money.
If it wasn't for that sweet, sweet APAC money.
Look, APAC. I don't know what the fuck she was thinking, honestly. I mean, okay, there's a candidate quality issue here too. Look, seriously, aside from their politics, let's just say that all else was equal, and you saw her versus him. I hate to say this. Thank God he's the progressive and she's the right winger, right? Because it would be so depressing if it was the other way around. Because, she's not impressive, right? When she talks, I'm just sorry, she's not, and he is comparatively impressive, right? So. 38 years old. He's very sharp. He's, smart, principled, knows how to speak properly. We're not making fun of your accent, Haley. It's not about your accent. It's not that. But, I think maybe APAC felt like, she needed that boost. But, maybe she does need that boost. But it's not going to help. And it's like, but the thing is, what I don't understand is why her campaign, strategically agreed to take the money, given the fact that Michigan was the center of the uncommitted movement. Hello.
It's cash. I think she looked at it and said, "There's money. I'm going to take it." That's what I think.
Yeah, that's what happened. Like I said,
money.
She's dumb.
Well, she may be, but from my point of view, they looked at it as, "Ooh, there's cash. Let me get my hands on that cash." Like 9 out of 10.
That's a really stupid way to think, right? It's like that no cash has ever come in with more strings than AIPAC money. And
Agreed.
and it's like, I mean, the thing is, in this case, it hobbles her. I mean, she's in a state with a lot of Palestinians and Muslims and people who know them and like them and are in some cases in love with them. Why on earth would you campaign in a state that has Dearborn and Metro Dearborn with $60 million in AIPAC money? You have to be a fucking maniac. I mean, it's stupid.
Well, I mean, intelligence in this case, obviously, does not seem to be part of it. Meaning she's going to lose this race if she indeed loses this race because of that. Which, begs the question. Well, it also begs the question, does this change behavior of Democrats who are running in races? I mean, Thomas Massey flamed out on this, but he's on the right. He has a different, it's Michigan, so there's that. But there's also a different model in regards to this particular type of race.
Also, he tried to give a bear hug to Trump, I mean, he fucked up in a lot of ways.
I mean, really what he should have done is just come out and run to the right of Trump. He should have just pulled a Robbie. It's like, no, Trump betrayed the America First movement. He's a traitor. He's Israel first. Put all of his cards down. I don't understand why he went out of his way to try and play nice with Trump when Trump is constantly attacking him.
Yes.
To me, that's just dumb.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense, right? And it never made sense to me. It's like, why are you trying to act like you and Trump are on good terms when you were trashing each other? Right? Like, meaning it's easy to see, and Donald Trump is obviously going to point out the guy's trash. Like, how are you bear hugging a guy who's calling you trash? It's not going to work. I didn't quite get it. Maybe he thought that was necessary.
It was obviously a mistake. It did not work, right? I mean,
it didn't work at all. He probably thought it was necessary to save his high.
Well, he was between a rock and a hard place for sure, right? I mean, it's like MTG, right? I mean, it's like basically at a certain point, there's no place for you in your party anymore.
Well, that's why I'm not a Republican. The Republican Party wouldn't have me.
Right. No, right. Well, the Democratic Party wouldn't have me, right?
I'm too right for them.
Well, are you? I mean, the chart says different, comrade. The chart says different. Comrade. No, man. This is going to be a very interesting race. Let me see if there have been any updates. I mean, obviously,
we have some updates. Looks like exit polls show Saeed significantly ahead, according to the New York Times.
Well, the New York Times is showing 55.9%, but it's only 8% report. No, that's not right.
Holy shit! So the most recent Senate polls, right, in Michigan, July 26th to 30th. So that's basically 6 days ago. Zenith Research, Sayed up by 19. SoCal Strategies, Sayed up by same dates, up by 17. Emerson College, that's July 26th to 27th. Sayed up by 16. Tavern Research, up July 26th to 27th, up by 10. Yeah. I mean, I just don't see how I don't see how she can salvage this. I mean, it's possible, but I mean, it's kind of like even allowing for the fact that polls can be mistaken, or I should say they can be off. They can't really be mistaken if they're conducted properly. But, I mean, there's just too much margin of error. If I'm her, I'm not planning. I didn't write a victory speech tonight, No.
Thank you to Assassin Holla for the $5. As a Michigander in the Detroit metro area, I am telling you right now, I don't know a single voter personally for Stevens.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We should vacillate about this.
We should.
Well,
we had a little exchange by text, and he said he's known him in Sayed for years. He said he's not really like a big lefty. Like, for example, he's pro-Ukraine.
Yes, which is what I showed earlier today. So Garland hit me up today. He might have watched my show earlier today. And, earlier in the show, I pointed out, I am going to do the election coverage stuff. And I was talking about Saeed basically saying the fact that he is, at the very least, willing to say, we shouldn't be sending money to Israel. That I have very low expectations of anything coming out of the Senate or the House. And the fact that he's willing to do that is at the very least something. But yeah, he's a lunatic. He's this liberal, lunatic. I don't get these people and their inability to see how dissimilar things are dissimilar. Like meaning basic looking at something to figure out order of operations and coming to a conclusion based upon the order of operations of, okay, who's at fault for this particular process or who's more at fault. It always, I'm not going to say confuses me because it's a group thing, but to me, this comes across as idiotic. Like meaning having a basic conversation where you're pointing out, well, you realize we overthrew their government, right? And that this was going to have consequences, right? And even when you're talking to people from NATO, like if they're being honest, they would acknowledge a lot of that stuff. Like it's wild to me that these lunatics, and I suspect it goes all the way back to Hillary Clinton. And Clinton's thing of, oh, the Russians hacked me, I was cheated, Putin wanted to get rid of me, and blah, 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 and all of this other stuff. I suspect it's that.
Trump is Putin's bitch.
Yeah, Trump is Putin's bitch, despite the fact that Donald Trump was doing one policy after the next that obviously wasn't in Russia's interests, whether it was Venezuela, whether it's going after Iran, whether it's going after China on some level.
Trump's the one that started sending live lethal aid to Ukraine. I mean, Trump's the one that's directly responsible for American tax dollars and American weapons being used to kill young Russian men.
Well,
Trump did that.
I think, Jamal, I think I can explain what's going on here. I mean, we live in a country where politics is very simplistic. And, if it fits on a bumper sticker, people can understand it. And that goes even for, people with, medical degrees like, Dr. Saeed. And so, I mean, from their point of view, it's very simple. Russia invaded Ukraine. And that's true. Russia did invade Ukraine. But at the same time, they're like, Israel, invaded the Gaza, and they colonized the West Bank. So in other words, in both cases, one party crossed a border and went to the other. And the Israelis might say, kind of like the Russians would say, well, the Gazans provoked this. They crossed the border and they raided us and they attacked us, and all we were doing was responding. And nobody's buying that, right? In the same way that a lot of people aren't buying the Russian thing. I mean, there's some
these are radically different situations.
Sure, if you know the situation, but there's the big if, right? Like most Americans don't spend any time. They don't really know what Gaza was like before October 7th. They have some vague sense, but they don't really know. I mean, come on, how many Americans could identify a Maidan coup from a hole in their ass? No, how many? I mean, what percentage of Americans do you think could answer to a poll in exchange for $10,000? What was Maidan?
We'll take it a step further. How many Americans could find Ukraine on a map?
For example, right?
Not many. Not many.
No, not many. I'm going to say fewer than 5%. And I think I'm being charitable. Yeah, I mean, so I think
that's frustrating.
It's just like Russia crossed the border with their tanks going from east to west. And it boils down to that. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's how they think about it.
That is so silly. Things can be complicated in reality, right? They don't have to, things can be complicated. It's frustrating. That's all. And from my point of view, when I was working at the radio station, I felt like you was living in an alternate reality.
Right.
You would hear all the stuff that would come out of mainstream media, and you would think to yourself, okay, maybe I am in the twilight zone. That's what they're saying.
Right.
And the reality that they're presenting. It's so warped. It's just wild to watch.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just wild to watch. So but you're probably right that, if that's the coverage that you're getting, and you get that coverage for years, and you absorb it, and you don't, have the competence, temerity, sense to look a little bit further into
also memory, right? Like you're asking people to go into the way back when machine. The year is 2014. And like that's for Americans. I mean, this is in Europe where the Battle of Kosovo happened yesterday in 1389, right? Like this is Americans for whom like they don't remember what happened 3 weeks ago. So of course, like this coup happened, and they don't know it from a Donetsk People's Republic from anything, right? They don't know. So I mean, I think it's just too. They don't want to know about like, well, Crimea was given as a gift by Khrushchev, just like have fun, like happy birthday, Ukraine. Right? It's like nothing like they don't know anything about this history. I mean, how many Americans could tell you how many Soviet republics there were? Right? 1%? I mean, seriously. It's
I mean, how many Americans know Crimea is considered sacred by Russians? That's where Christianity was introduced to the Russians, to the Kievan Rus, because
and it's 97 or 98% ethnically Russian. I mean, it's Russian. It's Russian. It's not
a Russian city. Yeah, it's a Russian city. Yeah.
No, and the thing.
Oh, go ahead. No, finish, Robbie. I'm sorry.
No, I was nearly excommunicated from my church because I was talking with somebody who's like, listen, they said, if I was a Palestinian living in Gaza, I would be a member of Hamas. And the guy, he was just like, it was like I denied the Trinity.
I might be Islamic Jihad because they're a little bit spicier than Hamas.
Yeah, I mean, the point is just if you're being occupied by this foreign power and they are slowly strangling your people to death, they're killing your people, they're starving you.
Resist.
They tell you that they allocate how many calories is that you're allowed to have per day to put you on a diet. That's Israel's words, not mine. Then any red-blooded man that has any sense of self-respect to pick up a rifle and kill as many of those fuckers as you possibly could.
True.
Yes. You have a right.
That doesn't make me a radical.
I come from that blood. My grandfather was like that.
I don't think that's radical at all. I think that's the most rational thing in the world.
Me too.
Like, meaning, I think human beings are wired a particular way. And I think you're always going to get a percentage of human beings when they're dealing with injustice that's going to resist that justice, even through violent means. That's just, it's expected from my point of view.
No, I agree. By the way, man, I tell you, I was just like, how dare you say that?
Is that what he said?
Yeah. I was like, how dare you resist occupation? Yeah. I said, well, yeah. I said, you need to kind of understand. I'm a man from the South. We kind of have a history of dealing with invaders. So maybe it's just genetic. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm fighting you. I'm fighting you because you're down here, to quote my great-great-granddaddy.
Oh, so that's funny.
There we go.
Well, it's like my grandfather who was in the French Resistance. And, they basically jumped when he told his coworkers in the French phone company, the PTT, that he wanted to sign up. They basically jumped him in. Like, we need to know that you're not a Gestapo spy. So they were like, we need to see you kill some Germans in broad daylight in front of a bunch of other people so that there's no confusion. So he was like, all right, happily. So they waited outside a bistro, a bar, and they waited for two Germans to come out. And they did, and they were a little bit tipsy, and they followed them down the street and both shot them both in the back. One went down easy, and the other one went down hard and had to keep being shot over and over again. And his comrade said, take his wallet, right? And, because they could use the papers to forge, fake papers. So they went to the safe house, and I still have my grandfather's wallet. He carried the German ID card of the guy he killed his entire life. And it was stamped politically undesirable, communist. And he said,
he killed a commie.
He killed a communist. He'd been like, the guy was a conscript. And he said, this is what war is, he used to say, like where you go and you kill someone who's your comrade and who, like, he was, my grandfather was a communist. And he's like, under other circumstances, we could and should have been friends. But he's like, he had no regrets because he was like, this man came to my country and he shouldn't have been here. And he should have refused to serve, and he should have been executed for refusing to serve. He had no business being there, so I had to fucking shoot him.
Basically, that man should have died either way, whether he got killed by the state or whether he got killed in the occupation.
True. And he kept his ID with him, and just to sort of remind him of what war is. And I mean, I think but the point is, don't go to someone else's country.
I mean,
you don't want to be killed.
My grandfather's granddaddy, he served in the Confederate Army. And my older brother has his diary. We still have his diary. And one of the stories he has written in there is on the bank of the Rappahannock River there in Virginia. And they were trading. He was trading with a Yankee soldier. He was trading tobacco for coffee. He wrote all this stuff down. And this Yankee said, Johnny, because they called him Johnny Rebs, said, why are you fighting, Johnny? And to which he replied, because y'all are down here.
Yeah, that's all. It's not personal.
Yeah, it's just, you're in my country. So this is what you do. Any other time, we'd be trading. And when the fight happens tomorrow, I hope you come out of it okay.
And by the way, that story happens a lot. Like in the Civil War, where it's like, hey, why you fighting me? why you fighting? Come on to my side. It's like, no, you come on to my side. Yeah.
How about? Well, I said, well, you just go home.
Yeah. Well,
just go home. That's all you got to do. Just go home.
I mean, obviously, look, I got to say, in fairness, I'm sure the Ukrainians view it that way too, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
But that is more complicated.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I mean, they're heroically fighting, I suppose, if you want to look at it in those terms.
But I mean, they're fighting. I mean, the tragedy is that they've been conned, and well, here's the irony, right? The irony is they've been occupied by the United States since 2014.
Yes, and they're fighting because they've been pushed to do so. Basically, a tip of the spear. Yeah, and that's so fucked up. It's such a catastrophe.
They've been fooled.
Look, I will tell you.
Although they're not all fooled. That's why they're all fucking leaving.
Well, not all of them. I will tell you, when the war first started, it took me a while to kind of wrap my head around what was taking place. Because initially, okay, they're fighting the war. Okay, they're fighting the war. And then you realize, oh, wait, this is like the Second World War. This is meaning the level of casualties, the number of people being killed, the materials, the manpower, the tanks, all that stuff. I mean, for fuck's sake, you had German tanks with Nazi symbols rolling through Kursk. It just blew my mind that that this would happen. It's amazing. By the way, I want to hit another story while we wait. And by the way, let's do an update. So, according to the New York Times, and I'll show the screen, we are at, I think this says 61%, 61.6%, if I'm reading this right. Yes, 61.6%, 35.1%. What's the percentage of the vote tally? 5% in. So basically, that number means nothing. That number ultimately means nothing. And Missouri open, because I'm curious about Cori Bush. She is in a rematch.
I'm gonna
with Wesley Bell.
I think she's going to Wesley Bell. You know,
that would be wild if she does. If you think, because that's another race where AIPAC dumped a ton of money into.
True.
I mean, for one, they dumped it in the first time around, but they're dumping a ton of money into it again to try to get rid of her. If she takes it back, are we to say that there's a wave going around where corporate Democrats are weirdly enough at a disadvantage because they're corporate Democrats backed by the party?
Yeah, well, I think that's what we're seeing now in Michigan, right? And let me just tell you, it is fucking. Let's dwell a little bit on this. That a guy named Abdul El Sayed, and he has a lot of other complicated Egyptian names in between those two names.
Yeah,
he's currently in the lead in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I mean,
they haven't even got
the only part of the United States that doesn't have an interstate highway. I mean, it's a very rural place, right? I mean, this is like everyone has a gun. If you don't have a gun, it's like one's assigned to you.
Yeah, this is not even the area where he dominates, right? This is somewhere else. It should. Yeah.
No, I mean, people are. I mean, who's going to vote for? No one's voting for her, really.
Listen, I'm a right-wing Christian right-winger, and I would have voted for him. I mean, why is it? I don't understand how it is considered radical in either the Democratic or the Republican parties to put your own country's interests above those of another country.
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. And yet, apparently, it is. And by the way, if the audience is here, shout out to the chat that's here, by the way. We've just been talking amongst ourselves. If you guys have any questions or comments, put them into the chat. I'll do my damnedest. We're talking and covering the Michigan election. We're also looking at Missouri, just in case we get polling from Cori Bush's election against Wesley Bell. Both elections are effectively, I guess you can call socialist or far left versus, or to the left versus corporate Democrats. The party has consolidated behind both, meaning Wesley and, for the most part, Stevens. And so it's going to be super interesting to see whether the $30 million in the races that they effectively dumped into it, or $60 million, or whatever that number is, whether it pays off. And I'm hoping in both cases it does not. I'm hoping it doesn't. And so with the latest polling, I want to hit a few stories while we're here. And I don't know if you guys seen the interesting one of the United States having to pay back the tariffs because Trump was effectively doing something illegal. And the federal government has to pay back $168 billion. So if you remember, Trump was kind of making the argument that there are trillions of dollars that have been collected, trillions of dollars. We're paying down the deficit all through the tariff money. Okay, it's $169 billion. That wouldn't even pay for 2 months or 3 months, meaning that's the reality of it, right? And yet you get Scott Bessent, Donald Trump's lapdog, out here, and I haven't listened to this clip, so, but I'm curious about it because I've seen the words on it, and so I want to see what he's going to say. But I get the sense that this is not going to be truthful, but I'll play him up.
To be clear,
go ahead.
One of the things that happened here, we've got the reindustrialization of the U.S., but here at the U.S. Treasury, I had $168 billion of tariff revenues that we're going to have to refund. And when the Democrats scream, "Oh, the refund should go back to the American people," well, the American people had it. It was in the U.S. Treasury and it was paying down the debt. And the other thing too is,
this is nonsense. This is nonsense. Okay,
I said that these lawsuits that the Democrats are doing are corporate welfare, and it turned out they were. That they wanted to refund the money to the corporations, and now the corporations have it. Some of them are using it to reduce prices. Some of them are using it for hiring, but a lot of them are taking it into profit.
What is an amazing thing to say? Like, what a spin job to say something like that. Because what he's effectively saying is, hey, we were taking in all of this money from tariffs, and this was the people's money. And he's right. It was the people's money that he was taking because it's the American consumer that's paying the tariffs. Like he's acting as if, like, oh, the corporations were paying. We paid that money. Like, we were paying more for the stuff that we were buying. In fact, if you remember, Amazon put a tariff price on the website at one point. The Trump administration got pissed off in order to basically wanted Jeff Bezos to remove it because Jeff Bezos was pointing out the amount of money extra that Americans out of our own pockets were paying for things. Benson is spinning this was the people's money that the people were never going to get.
Now, one thing I'm going to do, JT, to try and make things a little bit easy. I'm watching your YouTube chat and here on Deprogram, and I'm just dropping all the questions and stuff that I see into one place, so that way you and Ted can just knock them out at y'all's leisure.
All right,
badass. Okay, so let's hit some of these. Ted, do the work of my eyes for me.
All right, here we go. All right, So we did the first one already. All right. Exile the Knights of Malta now. Thanks for the $5. Spend a nickel. Tap the peaceful constitutional standing military legal justice system rescue beat.
What?
I have to admit, I have no idea what that means, but we do appreciate the $5. Okay, Philip Blair. Question: any news on Kshama Sawant out in Seattle?
Well, their 3 hours
yeah, exactly.
behind us.
Yeah, the polls are still open, so the answer is no. It's
that's going to be
5:54 p.m. People are still commuting home from work. Polls are still open for a few more hours. B4D Cookies, follow-up question. Do you believe in this whole resurgence of the Democratic Socialist movement, or do you feel like it's just another Pied Piper strategy? Good question.
I think it's real, but I think it's real because the public is pissed off at the establishment parties. Like, meaning, I think at the very beginning, when you got Trump and Sanders, ascending right to the heights of the political space, that there was an honest attempt by the public to break the center on both sides of the political spectrum. It's not that they were doing it like out of some kind of magical thinking or anything. I think it was a typical thing of the center has failed to deliver on the things that were necessary for a state to be a state. And the public went in those directions. I think in one sense, Sanders was kneecapped. In the other sense, Trump wasn't. Trump wins because he's an anti-establishment candidate during a period where people were looking for something different than the center. I don't think that changed. If anything, I think that even might have hardened from the standpoint of people who were looking for still something different. And so I don't want to say that this is going to bring the moon. I don't think that. But do I think that people are looking for something different? Yes. But maybe I'm wrong. Do you guys, what do you think?
Look, but this ties into the next question, which is Ilya Kurakayan. I don't even know why you give a flying fuck about U.S. quote unquote elections. So look, the answer to Bad Cookie's question is basically yes and no, right? Is it real? Of course it's real, because it reflects, and this is why we should care about it, because we rarely get an opportunity to put our finger on the pulse of the American people. We don't live in a country where people protest in the streets. We don't really, have a free press. So we don't really know what's going on with the American people. And every now and then you get an opportunity to figure out, are they docile or are they pissed? And right now we're finding out, they're pissed. So at the same time, is it Pied Pipers? Yes, it is also Pied Pipers, because the system is trying to basically sheepdog this anger into the Democratic Party, even though ironically the Democratic Party apparatus isn't that excited about having that anger and that energy channeled into it. But
yes,
so it's really unfortunate. I would rather see it channeled into a real left-wing grassroots organization, but that's not the system we have. It's not where we're at. So is it real? Sure. Is it going to be misdirected? Yeah.
Probably. Probably. It's both. I agree with you. I think elections have consequences, kind of. But not dramatic in the way that we would want from the standpoint of policy.
No.
It's usually just sloshing back and forth. I think, my audience is saying it's complacency, it's docility. Basically, the public is docile, the public is complacent. I think that's true, but I think that's true because I think we got used to this idea that the system just worked. And even if it didn't work, it worked well enough to ensure that people had money, jobs, et cetera, especially if you're talking about during the 60s and stuff like that. I don't know if we have a tradition like France in the way of protests. I've seen France bring cows out into the middle of the highway to protest.
It's awesome.
Farming policy.
And dump manure on the street too, right? It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just wild. Where you see the protests, and they would do the shit at the drop of a hat. We don't really do that. I don't entirely know why. I don't know if we've just got
the Brittany independence movement blew up McDonald's. You know,
you said
they
blew up
pulled to the drive-through and put the bomb in there.
Okay, that shouldn't be funny, but that's funny as all hell.
Come on, don't tell me that shit's not funny. It is funny.
Yeah, the shit's funny. That's funny. No, that's funny. I agree. That's hilarious. But no, we don't do it, and I don't entirely know why. Is it just because we've been repeatedly told best country on earth, shining city on a hill, we're exceptional, we're great, we're fantastic, we're awesome, we're the greatest thing that has ever happened in the history of things. You know, we're the greatest of people. I mean, because if you're told that,
that's
then you may not look further.
Yeah, that's part of it. And also, look, the other thing is we have no revolutionary tradition in this country. I mean, this country didn't have a real revolution. I mean, the American Revolution is not a real revolution. It's not. It was, you know, the landed elites remained landed elites. Slave owners remained slave owners. The slaves remained slaves. I mean, you know, it was an independence struggle, and it's not without historical significance. But it's not, you know, the French Revolution, the Chinese Revolution, the Russian Revolution, the Cuban Revolution. It's not those things. And
people kept their heads.
Pardon?
People kept their heads.
Yeah, exactly.
In all of those revolutions, people lost their heads.
That's the problem. That's exactly the problem. So yeah, we're not a revolutionary people, and we didn't develop a revolutionary tradition. So, you know, I mean, I think we don't know how to do it because, you know, we don't do it because we've never done it. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, in France, people kind of like just know to do this. It's like, all right, grab your placard. It's time. You know, like my mom used to always joke, en grève, like, you know, to on strike. You know, like off we go. That's how we go.
Well, I think it's now kind of talked about this on the program.
I'm gonna go. I'll be right back. I'll be back in a minute. Okay. Take me out.
Yeah. JT, I mean, you talked about this over on the program. Is elections kind of work, whether they work or not, they kind of work as a pressure release valve.
Yes.
And you'll know that things are starting to break apart when voter turnout is very low, because when that gets low, that's a signal that at least that the oligarchs should be able to see that the gig is up, that that the sleight of hand is no longer working. And so I don't know. I think that as long as voter turnout is relatively high, that the beat will go on a few more years. When it falls off a cliff, that's when the risk of political violence is going to happen on the left and the right.
By the way, I think there are two things. I think there's that where the audience, basically where people just say, this doesn't matter. This is you know, this is kabuki theater.
That's right.
But I think there's also, but I think the other thing is the way political degeneration. Like if you think back, let's say to Jimmy Carter or even LBJ, or, you know, meaning through that era, through the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, somebody like Donald Trump couldn't have even got close to the White House. Like, meaning the lying, the cursing, the narcissism, that in no way could have been presented to the American public, and the American public accepted that under those circumstances. And even cursing, like the way the presidents now just curse, that is outrageous. Like, none of that stuff was happening prior. Even this idea of attacking countries openly, where meaning we know that they toppled the government of Syria. We know they knocked over the government of Ukraine. We know about the crisis, the Iran-Contra affair. Yep. Like when Ronald Reagan had to come out and explain, yes, I sold weapons to Iran in order to fund attacking South America with kill squads. Okay, that was mind-blowing. Yep. It's not mind-blowing today. It's accepted as normal. Like, this seems to be a degeneration of the political system, like in real time. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's the way it comes across.
Brother, I completely agree with you. I mean, it's right there. I mean, think about this. The United States killed over 2 million Iraqis.
Yeah.
2 million over a lie. And no one was held accountable. at all. When Clinton sent the ATF against the Branch Davidians, no one went to jail, no one cared. The war is going on right now, right now against Iran, a war that we're losing, by the way, and no one's being held accountable.
Let me ask you this: if Trump was winning this war, do you think that the American public would be against it? I'm fascinated by that question.
I don't think the American people care one way or the other because it doesn't impact them. So the problem with the United States is most Americans are like me and they just haven't traveled very much. And so for them, America is not an island unto itself. It's an entirely different planet. It exists on a sphere of existence all of its own.
That's true.
So America doesn't have to play nice or have a shared history with countries in Europe or countries in Asia that for 2,000 years have been fighting with each other over resources, over borders, over everything. We don't have that tradition here. And so Americans are just largely isolated from it. And I think that if they won, the Republicans would be chest up and say, rah, 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 Emperor Trump, he's done exactly what he's supposed to do. Meanwhile, I have right-wingers like me who say, well, okay, that he did, but I thought we had a republic on an empire. When did Congress declare this war? That's the question.
Yeah, but that's a question not for most Americans. I think it's simpler than that. I think most Americans, win or lose against Iran, they don't care.
They don't care at all.
Because it's like, what are you doing for me? And I see you off half-cocked working on other shit that doesn't have anything to do with me. Right. It does not help me get a job. It does not help my kid who's worried about losing her job to AI. It does not help me buy milk. It just does not help me. I think most people, left or right, they view this as a distraction. And the thing is, they might not have viewed it that way if we weren't coming off of the forever wars against Afghanistan and Iraq and Somalia and all these other countries, and none of it ever came to anything. It's not like we do these wars and then, it's ancient Rome, like the lucre rolls into the center, into the capital of the empire, and we're all living large, right? It's not like that.
If it was, Americans would support it.
Right, and they're not. So it's like basically they just see it at best as like, while you're spending time on foreign affairs, you're ignoring domestic matters.
Yeah, I agree with all that.
Yeah, and meanwhile, if you have people like me who are concerned about immigration, my question is, why in the hell are you starting all these wars? It's guaranteed to start problems with the refugee flows and everything else. If you want to get a handle on immigration, you start by stopping your stupid wars.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right, let's do an update. Well, first, do we have any question comments before we go to the...
Yeah, okay, hold on.
By the way, let's do again, if you got the questions, comments, let us know. Obviously, chats, memberships, those things will come first just because they support the show. Or what they got raids in Rumble. I think they got raids or something. But let's go to...
All right. I've got like 5-10 more minutes, but let me do three more comments here. All right. Child of God, look at voter turnout. Low voter turnout is revolutionary. Well, I think low voter turnout is not what we're going to see. We're seeing high voter turnout throughout the state of Michigan tonight.
Yes.
There's a lot of interest. I think high voter turnout benefits any insurgent candidate. And, Saeed may be pro-Ukraine and all that, but in this context, he's as close as it comes to an insurgent candidate. Stevens is obviously the establishment candidate, and high voter turnout does not benefit her.
No, usually it indicates that more people are coming to the polls that don't typically go.
Next comment from Shamar: Dems want me in a dress. And Republicans want me shining shoes, different wings, same eagle. I like that comment. Goldmo, refugees don't come from the wars; they come from sanctions on Latin America.
That too.
Both.
But the wars too.
Philip Blair.
Country through wars. Those people are going to leave.
Robbie, you'd be a good trial lawyer in the mold of Jerry Spence, who successfully defeated the U.S. government in federal court following Ruby Ridge. He was a pro-Constitution lefty type.
Oh, cool.
I could totally see Robbie as an activist attorney.
I have the education for it.
Well, yeah, you do have to go to law school. Well, actually, you don't. Actually, there are. It's not actually. People don't know that. You just have to pass the bar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you don't actually need to go to law school. I mean, it's certainly hard to pass the bar if you haven't gone to law school. But seriously, people have become lawyers and passed the bar without going to law school.
Let's see. All right. So the race, the latest in the race is, what is this, 52.7%. We have 17% of the votes in. I will show it.
So they're counting faster than usual.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, which is not good for Stevens. I mean, if with his numbers that were so high, if you have the situation where he is leading with a heavy lead all throughout, and they haven't even gotten to the heavy districts for him yet, or have they? So much of the state over here. Come on. Okay, there we are. So much of the state, obviously, it's not done. I mean, they got parts of Detroit. Let's say suburban country. Stevens is ahead.
It's Wayne County is Detroit, isn't it?
Okay, so let me see. This is Oakland County, Wayne County right here. Stevens, 50%, 40%, but they have very little votes counted. It's only like 5,000 votes counted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would still look at that though. I mean, look, if I'm Stevens, I'm not feeling good about that Wayne County vote because she really needs a big lead in the black vote in Detroit. And so, I mean, granted, they just started counting, but it's not materializing.
Well, I mean, is she like? Why does she expect that black vote?
Because this is the Clyburn phenomenon, right? Where it's like somehow, like basically, black votes in the last, I'd say, 3 cycles have become small c conservative in the Democratic base. Where it's like we want to make sure we have someone electable who can defeat the Republican in the general election, and the call that Clyburn and those people make is, this radical, crazy Arab isn't going to be able to defeat the Republican asshole this fall. You have to elect the dopey-looking lady instead.
But the black vote's not a monolith, though.
No, of course not.
Well, not for. But I mean, not within the Democratic Party.
The black vote is definitely responsive to political machine organization.
Agreed. I mean, otherwise, Clyburn wouldn't have been able to marshal South Carolina.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. Hopefully, and put it this way: the young black vote. I agreed, Robbie. It's not a monolith. The younger voters are not as wed to this stuff.
For sure.
As older voters. So I suppose we're going to see how that.
However, just like with all other racial demographics, I mean, older black voters are more likely to turn up than younger black voters.
Yeah. So this should be super interesting. We have more comments.
Yeah, let me do a couple more. Goldmo, the guy in Michigan, supports Ukraine still. Americans are ignorant and many support empire in an undertone way and believe they are the best. Bad cookies, question. With the loss of Stevens, do you think the Democratic and Republican establishments doubled down on the communists are taking over the party propaganda? They will try.
Probably, yeah. Because they're going to freak out. Like, they're not going to handle this well.
Well, when they're really going to freak out is when Syed beats the Republican this fall.
Yeah.
Then they will not know what to do or say.
Not in that. No, they're not.
Then they're fucked. That's when they're
fucked. If Cory Bush wins, you get both anti-Israel candidates.
And they win in the fall.
Oh, man.
They win
and win in the fall.
Yeah. That's what we
got to win in the fall. Because if they win and then lose in the fall, that looks bad. That looks bad.
Beautiful. All right. Sasson Hala, thanks for the $5. Oakland County is one of the wealthiest counties in the U.S. and has a lot of Jewish Zionist voters. That's where her donors are, basically.
Okay,
I think that money's coming from all over the world, though. Musa Gaddafi, politics isn't a black thing. It's easy to manipulate the community. Easy to manipulate anyone.
Politics is the... I didn't hear the last part.
And I wish white people were impervious to manipulation. Yeah.
Oh, he's trying to say that they manipulate. Yeah, look, I think all people are can be manipulated.
No question.
Yeah, I don't think that's clearly not a black thing. I mean, there's reasons that black people vote the way that they do. That's not random, but that's not just a black thing. I mean, Trump got elected. That wasn't a black vote.
No. Although a surprising number of black people did vote for him.
Yeah, they did, but like in percentage wise, I mean, it was.
Yeah, he got more black votes than any other Republican in history.
True.
And also Latino votes. I mean, no, listen, when the economy sucks, it doesn't matter what color your skin is. What matters is, are you able to bring groceries home? Trump promised to make America great again. Now, to his credit, that's a very vague thing. What does that mean? For most people, what that means is be able to pay my rent or pay my mortgage, be able to bring groceries home, maybe put a little bit of money into savings, and maybe you're going to be able to go on a vacation with the family once a year. Because right now you can't do that. And instead, of course, I mean, people are going to vote their interests. And
but God, that frustrates me so much. Voting in interests, it's not just what people say. I mean, people can say anything. And I guess my thing is, dude literally tried to overthrow the government. Meaning the first impeachment was nonsense. And I can argue like this. Insane.
Well, in the case of and Trump, he ran the first time, I supported him. Like, I campaigned for him. I donated. I was on the phones. Like, I was out there. I was for this man. And to his credit, he had no political record. He'd never been elected dog catcher anywhere. And he's running against Hillary Rodham Clinton. So I knew what I was going to get if she won. More of the same. With Trump as a wild card, I have a chance to finally have someone who's willing to at least pretend like they listen to me.
Agree. Which, again, I would make the argument that it's not that Trump won the election, it's the Democrats lost the election. Like, I don't believe that under normal circumstances, somebody like Trump can win an election short of having just shit opponent. I mean, he has too many weaknesses and vulnerabilities. Like, meaning the first time around, as you pointed out, Robbie, people were looking for something different. And they knew what Clinton was. So, like, meaning even this contest between these two, where one person has no experience and she supposedly has all the experience in the world, the public obviously wasn't looking for it.
Mayor Pete would have been a better candidate than she was.
No, Donald Trump.
So? I don't think so.
They just need someone who didn't already have a big record like she did.
But I don't think Buttigieg would work. I just don't. Yeah. And yes,
the point I'm trying to make is just like the Democrats should have just never gone with like a hardcore establishmentarian candidate, and they did.
Well, who's they going to run? They're not going to run a reformer. They got donors they got to cater to.
Bernie, right? I know, obviously.
So no, Trump. The two things that he did that won me over was first on that Valentine's Day debate in South Carolina when he put Jeb on a cross. That was a thing of beauty. It's just like, yes. And then in the press conference, it's like, what do you have to lose? So if you take a chance, it's just what do you have to lose? And that's a compelling case because I know what I'm going to get with the establishment candidate. I'm going to get more of the same.
I don't know. I feel like that's an argument that makes me nervous. When someone says that,
like, what do you got to lose? It's like, what?
Yeah, seriously.
I haven't really thought about that.
Well, Hillary Clinton, she wants war with Russia. Now, granted, we got war with Russia anyway. I mean, we're at war with Russia now, whether we want to say it or not. We're at war with Iran. We are still Israel's little bitch. We're still just nothing's changed, and that's one of the reasons I despise Trump. I went from just supporting the guy to call him a traitor and calling for his impeachment.
Yeah, I hear you.
No, I don't fault you. I guess my thing is, but the second time around, it's like, okay, this is a no-no. Like, to me, it was clear as day that Trump was lying. Now, about Ukraine, I wasn't certain. My thing was like, okay, maybe, I mean, if you put that much political capital into claiming that you're going to end the war, looks like there will be, an impetus to try to end the war, like in those terms. And then things that Trump was saying was, at the very least, expressing realities of what happened. So it's like, okay, well, maybe. But within the first 2 months, it's like, okay, this isn't happening. He's not going to do this. The economy, I don't know why the public believed him on the economy either. Like, I guess he's a businessman, and so he's a business. But it's like dude went bankrupt like 8 times. Why I don't know. To me, the Trump thing was white Obama. That's the way I took the Trump thing.
Well, bankruptcy benefits the rich. I mean, it's not like if you or me go bankrupt, right? Because then it just goes after your assets, but your actual personal wealth is fine.
I know, but I pointed out there's a level of incompetence associated with continuously going bankrupt over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, you can say it benefits, fair enough, but if you're a country and you're looking at a president, you're looking for success, not records of failure.
Yeah, of course, but the country's bankrupt. So I mean,
yeah.
So I mean, that goes back to what you have to lose. You got one guy saying, why are we in NATO? Which is a legitimate question. Why are we?
It's a very good question. I know. It's not as legitimate of a question as why is there a NATO?
Yeah.
Which should have disappeared the day that the Warsaw Pact disappeared.
See, therein lies the rub. The organizations act like organisms. They don't necessarily want to die.
True. It's like the Cancer Society. Hey, Sneaker Dad's been very generous. Thank you very much for $50. All these people who voted for Trump and apologized afterwards can go fuck themselves. You should have known better.
Wow. That's strong.
Well, I guess I'll go fuck myself then, because I voted for him and I've apologized because I took a chance because I knew what I was going to get with Hillary Clinton. Now, I did vote for Biden.
You could be morally pure like me, Robbie, and have voted for Dr. Stein.
Well, I voted for. Listen, I'm about to break y'all's brains. I voted for Joe Biden in 2020.
Did you?
And I did, and here's why.
Because senile people deserve a chance too, or what?
No, it's because all the Republicans who are giving Trump a pass with his supporting red flag laws and all this other stuff, if that had been a Democrat instead of a Republican, they would have been ready to march on D.C. with torches and pitchforks. But because it was Trump doing it, it's like, oh, that's okay. He's playing 4D chess. No, he's not. He's suffering you.
That guy can't play 1D chess.
And so I prefer my hypocrisy. I prefer my lies without the taint of hypocrisy. So that's why I voted for Biden, because at least then, if Biden was elected, at least then Republicans have to pretend like they opposed him, which of course they didn't. So it was just a double whammy, just a double loss. So 2-0 for Robbie.
My rule is don't ever vote for a person who you wouldn't want to see win.
Yeah, agree.
Literally, Biden couldn't string a sentence together, and Kamala promised to be just like him. So people rolled the dice on different. Didn't work out great. But at least we don't all have to be gay now. Oh, shit. I ended up the ass because of that. Fuck. I didn't know I didn't have to be gay.
I am sympathetic to people who voted for Trump a second time.
Yeah, me too.
Now, the reason I'm kind of sympathetic, because who were they voting for? Like, meaning who do you actually vote for in that race?
Well, they were also voting against the lawfare and all that shit.
Yeah, there was that. They were voting against this, whatever the hell was taking place in the Democratic Party. There was no enthusiastic support in the Democratic Party for the candidate. Like, all of those things were negatives. But again, those things are issues with Democrats.
Yeah.
Now, people are asking who I voted for in 2024. I voted for Dr. Shiva. I'm the only person in Montana who voted for him.
Did you look that up?
I did. I'm the only person in the state of Montana who voted for Dr. Shiva.
Do you know if anyone else voted for him in the United States besides, him?
Oh, I have no idea. But I know that in the entire state of Montana, I am the lone vote that went to Dr. Shiva.
I mean, he might be the most unpleasant human being I've ever encountered.
Oh, really?
He's a complete asshole. Like, he called Ted stupid, like right there on the TMI show. It was amazing.
What? He called you stupid on your show.
Not like completely unreservedly. Like, yeah. Like
he wasn't kidding.
Fucking retard.
What was the argument? Like, we obviously got back to an argument. What did y'all? What was
I'm
the?
not even calling him unpleasant because of that. That's not even why I'm saying he's unpleasant. He's just unpleasant.
Wow.
Like when he's not talking.
I'm just curious on why do you call you basic? Why do you?
Well, we were talking about Vivek Ramaswamy, and the topic of immigration came up in the caste system and stuff, and so Ted was having a good back and forth with him, and Dr. Shiva said, "Listen, I understand you're stupid," and he just went right on down. It's like you are such a dick. So naturally, I had to vote for him.
Well,
wow.
Yeah, I wonder if anyone voted for him in, say, Iowa or Idaho or.
I have no idea.
So, so he was running for the presidency? I didn't realize there was somebody else running. So he was running for the president.
Yeah, he was running for president.
Yeah.
As third party.
Yeah, he wasn't on the ballot here in Montana, so I had to write him in.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's hard. I'll vote for Clovis in a similar situation next time.
Yeah, because I can think of only one or two shows, maybe three, that I've had really bad experiences with the guests. Like one guy I remember on the network, him and I got into a fight over election integrity. And within 15 minutes, it was like, well, if you say anything else, I can, I'm going to leave. And it's like, well, you can leave. Like that was the first time somebody like.
I wasn't mad at him at all. I mean, he can come back anytime he wants. He's just an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's one of those. It's not even like it's a statement. It's like saying Clovis is a cat, and Dr. Shiva is a dick. I mean, that's just true. It's not even like I don't say this in anger. I don't say it in sorrow. Literally, I voted Stein because Putin paid me to. Ili Yakuri Akin. Putin only gave me $5,000 to make fun of Biden. Fuck, I should have gotten more from Putin.
I made fun of Biden for free.
I made fun of Biden for 4 years with my cartoons.
And didn't get anything for it, right?
Yeah,
I didn't get anything for trashing it. Yeah, I didn't vote for either person. I am a firm believer, at the very least, I've gotten to the point of being a firm believer that not voting is a position.
There's a lot to be said for not voting.
Yeah, it's getting across displeasure with the political system. And I get people think, oh, that's wasting, or that's people died for the right to vote. Yeah, and it's my right to, meaning if I don't see anybody on the ballot that is worth that vote, that I can support. And
it's the right to vote. You don't have to vote.
Right, you don't have to. And if I don't see anybody, I'm not voting for either.
I mean, imagine, I mean, this is theoretical, right? But imagine if voter turnout in a presidential election was like 13%. I mean, that would create a political crisis. I mean, people would say the American people don't like this system. And it would create all sorts of opportunities for people to create third and fourth and fifth parties. So, I mean, because people would say, holy shit, there's an opportunity here. I mean, every time you show up to vote, you are propping up the system.
Yes, true. Agreed. And I know we're saying that as we cover Abdul Saeed, El Saeed.
Yeah, but we're not endorsing that you should vote. We're just saying that like the vote's happening whether we like it or not.
Right.
And so the question is, what does it mean?
It's that part. I mean, look, from my point of view, I don't have any really expectations of anything coming out of Congress. But if a candidate is anti-Israel, at the very least America first, in the very specific sense of giving money to Israel and backing a genocide, then I'm going to be for that person just because of that one specific issue. Yeah. Meaning, it's just that. It's not that.
It's long fucking overdue.
Yeah, he's a lunatic on Ukraine. True. But this is a very single specific issue that I want AIPAC to waste $30 million.
Me too. It looks like 60.
Well, it's 60 total, but I mean, she got $60 million coming from out of the country, out of state.
Jude, this is a comment for you. Oh God, I remember when Sarah Bill's rage quit on you, Jamal. You remember that? LOL.
I wasn't going to bring that up. I wasn't going to name names.
Always name names. Always.
we were having a conversation about whether or not the president has any power. And if you're talking to me as a software engineer, if any part of a statement is false, then the statement is false. Meaning, you could be 99%. If I can name one thing, then your statement is false. True. And that was the way the argument went. And my thing was like, from my point of view, it was like, are you seriously making this argument right now? Like, meaning I was so shocked that the argument was even being made that it was kind of like, why do you think that? And she just got more pissed and more pissed. And eventually she was like, fuck this. I'm out. I can't believe that that's your point of view. It's like, you can't believe my point of view is that the president has power? Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Like, meaning, even if Donald Trump is reading or is given policy papers, it still has to go through the president for it to happen. He obviously has power. I thought it was such a dumb conversation, if I'm being honest with you. And, when you think somebody is saying something dumb, it's very hard to entirely argue against when you think it's just dumb. It's like, are you really arguing to me that water is wet? Okay, how do I need to prove this to you that water is wet? It just feels so silly. She didn't tolerate, she just said, fuck it, I'm out. Rage quit.
So I'm not going to rage quit, but I'm going to quietly quit here. I'm going to go because I'm never up this late. I'm always asleep by now.
Ted, you're getting all sleepy. You poor little thing. Would you like me to make you some warm milk? Would you need me to tuck you in? Maybe rub your feet for you?
I would actually love that. Thank you very much for that offer.
God, you're such a baby.
I would love to be tucked in. I haven't, my mom, she did this amazing thing when I was a kid. She would she would put the freshly dried, still hot fitted sheet down, have me lie down, and then put the flat sheet over and tuck me in with all the hot, fresh out of the dryer thing. Yeah.
It's funny. When I was in Baku, when I was in Azerbaijan, the last place I was before I think when I would go to the clinic, they would be these older women who were very nice. And for me, I stick myself. I cannulate myself. And so I did it the first day. And all of them were just kind of shocked by the whole thing. They was like, oh my God, this guy's sticking needles in himself. By day 2 or 3, by the third time I went there, they have this thing where they put you in a bed, they put a blanket over you, they'll put a heavier blanket over you to make sure that you're warm. They bring you your tea and coffee.
That's nice.
And you talk about, that's nice. You talk about getting lazy. Like where, like as an American, they don't do any of that stuff. Like in the clinics, you they may stick you, but everything else you're just in a chair. There's nothing else. There's no blanket. There's nothing. You have to bring all the stuff yourself. They do all of it there, and they put you in a bed, and you just sit there and you just go to sleep listening to the audiobook, and that would be my treatments. And it would be nice. Like, it's so nice. It's like okay, Mr. Tom, they don't even speak English. It's like blanket. It's like, oh, you're chilling.
You understand?
Oh, it was so nice.
It was so nice. Language of love. Count 010101. Thanks for the comment. Lightweight Ted Rawls, 2:30 in the morning in the UK. You go, Brits. But that's why we had a revolution against you guys. And Elia Lecurin, Jamal, can we talk about how shit Bobby Flay's restaurants are? I'm Ted Rawls. I'm sure Ted Rawls has been to one in New York. I don't even know who.
I've never been to one.
I don't know.
I'm out. What is that?
Bye, guys.
Bye, Ted.
Have a good one, Ted. You say
thank you. All right. I hope.
Oh shit.
Ted just pieces out.
I'm sorry, Ted. I'm sorry. Please finish. Oh, okay.
He's like, screw you, JT.
I'm sorry. He said he was out. There was a pause, and I thought he was finished. I didn't realize. Yeah, I'm sorry.
He's such a racist. He's such a racist dick.
I'm out. He's like, I'm out. He's like, you're not keeping him here. It's like lightweight dead raw. Boomer, 60 years old. He's like, I'm out. It's 9 o'clock.
To
be fair, for Robbie, it's 2 hours earlier. So Robbie's talking shit. For Robbie is in a better space for it.
Hey, my workday started at 5 o'clock this morning. So, and I'm still going strong. And then you go pasty white Ted over there. Oh, I'm tired. It's time for me to go. It's 9:30. I need to go down. And so this dude's listen. This dude's calling for a revolution. He wants to overthrow the government, install a communist utopia, and this prick can't stay past his bedtime. Talk about a sunshine patriot.
It's like there's a communist running in Michigan, and Ted Rawl is going to bed to see whether this communist wins or not. At least according to the Republicans and other Democrats. Yeah. All right, let's do an update on the race. Let's see. Let me bounce back. So this is what we have so far. Look, I know this channel typically covers foreign policy, so my audience is not necessarily going to be all that enthused about this conversation. But still, I am interested in this race since my channel named Jamal Thomas. So right here, 21% of the votes are in, 51.8. Excuse me, 44.8. The race is tightening, which obviously we expected. Well, maybe we expected. We'll see. I mean, she's still, what is this, 6-7 points down? Yeah, 7 points down. I mean, truth be told, though, the polling had him blowing her out. Not in a good way. So,
we'll see what happens. I mean, listen, I hope he wins.
Yeah, I mean, if he loses, god damn. Like, that's the other thing, right? What does it mean if he loses this race?
Well, I don't think he'll be able to win the general. I just don't see a path.
You don't think he can win the general, or that she can win the general? That
he can win the general. I think that whoever the Republicans win probably will have an advantage. Well, yeah, because what's going to happen is, well, it's kind of how we talked about on Deep Program last week, where I talked about how the Democrats, they can't just go and play identity politics against this guy for being a first-generation American Muslim. So what they're going to do is that they're going to funnel that energy using surrogates to run with the Republicans, because the Democrats are all about the big tent. Now, that's the lie they like to tell. Is just like, we're all in this together. Diversity is our strength, and all this other crap. So they can't come out and swing at him that way. So they are going to send all that energy over to the Republicans and let them do it for them. The Democrats would be thrilled to lose this, to win the seat, for the Republicans to win it, and then blame it on xenophobia, racism, whatever kind of crap it is that you want. But at the end of the day, though, the Democrats do not want this guy, just like the Republicans didn't want Thomas Massey. That's what this is. So I just don't see how he can win in the general. Maybe I'm wrong.
Robbie, I think I agree, kind of. I think they may use something like that. Look, I guess from my point of view, you're right. They would love for him to lose. Oh, they would love for him to lose. Like, meaning what they would want. It's kind of like the Mamdani thing, right? It's like, I'll tell you a story. Richard Nixon. There's one of the tapes where they were talking about Richard Nixon, where Richard Nixon put a woman up because basically he wanted to say, hey, look how progressive I am. I'm ahead of the curve. I'm pulling a woman into my administration. This is not something that people typically do. And behind the scenes, Richard Nixon basically said, she is going to fail at what she does. And this is going to set women back for a decade. And he knew it. And he put her up specifically for the point of failing. Yep. How fucked up is that, right? Well, the same thing is true for this, right? If Democrats can make him fail in the general, they could say, well, see, obviously, Stevens would have won it. I'm telling you, that's what they're going to do. Meaning, if you're right, and they decide to level attacks at him based from the standpoint of, okay, we're going to give Oppo research to Republicans, or we're going to allow Republicans to use this angle of attack. Oh, hell, we may even use this angle of attack during the race itself. We want him to fail because we want to make the argument that it was the fact that he was a lefty, that he was Muslim, that he was whatever, that was never going to work. And hitting the left as they do it. Meaning they could say, well, see, obviously the left can't win. A progressive can't win this race. I think you're right on this one. I think you're so right. I think that's exactly what they need to do. And by the way, if they don't do it, and for people who say not so much, if people may forget, but it was Hillary Clinton that put out stuff about Obama being a Muslim. The picture that was put out with Obama in the Muslim garb and everything, Hillary Clinton did that. She did that. So, yeah, it's possible. Obama was a Muslim. I do say he absolutely is. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. But we'll see. I mean, the first problem first, right?
I mean, Obama didn't.
I can think about that shit later.
I mean, here's the thing, though. I mean, you're a man of the left. So what my question is do you think that Saeed is legitimate, or do you think that he is a Arab Obama? Is he the real deal?
I think he dislikes Israel.
Okay, and
that's what I think.
That's not enough.
If you're asking me what I think his heritage sends him in a particular direction against funding the state of Israel, which is what I agree with. The other stuff, who the hell knows? Right? Like, I have very little belief in the current electoral political system. And until they show me, then I'm probably going to disbelieve it. Because, as you point out, all of these Obama types that have used this idea of feeling your pain. Like, oh, I feel your pain. We're sensitive, we're compassionate, et cetera, et cetera. And then everybody comes in a part of Citigroup, right? Keep in mind, Obama used the Occupy Wall Street thing to get elected, and then turn around and attack Wall Street. So yeah, I'm cynical or I would say I'm a realist. I'm not going to say cynical. I'm a realist when it comes to many of the political players. But for him, he has I'm not going to say bias, but he has a orientation based on culture and heritage on this issue that I can trust. His people are being murdered, right? He feels some kind of way about it, and he's going to want policy going in line with preventing the U.S. from supporting that mass murder of women and children, not to mention rapey and all this other stuff. So that I believe. How he is on economics, I assume a general leftward tilt regarding the economic stuff. Like, meaning he probably does want universal health care. He probably does want childcare. He probably does want education. Like, meaning those are very basic things from the standpoint of the left. So that may be true. How willing he's go to the mat for it? Oh, that's the question. That's the question. Look, I'll tell you this. Do you remember when Force the Vote came up?
Yeah.
And people were like, they wanted to push Nancy Pelosi on the issue of $15 minimum wage. And they were like, look, just threaten her seat. And they wouldn't do it. And it's like, but why don't you do it? Meaning, this is an issue of power. This is not about stepping affectionate. And part of that power is flexing that power and showing, hey, we're willing to do X or Y in order to get what we want. This is blood sport. This is not about us being friends. This is what we're trying to accomplish. Okay, They didn't do it. And the argument that they made was, well, we can get the Biden administration to push $15 an hour minimum wage or something like that, or whatever it was. And then when it comes up for the bill, and if you remember, Joe Biden kept saying for COVID, he was like, our heroes have been out here working in stores, and they've been putting their lives on the line, and they've been risking their lives. They must get $15 an hour minimum wage. It's what they deserve. It's what they deserve. They don't, everything else is a starvation wage. And then when he gets in office, it comes up for a vote. And Joe Biden immediately is working to get rid of the $15 an hour minimum wage the moment that it runs into any kind of friction. Now, the what do they call them? ACOC's group initially held up the bill, saying, "Look, we're not going to vote for this unless it has it in it." And when it went back to the Senate sent it back to the House, and they said, "Hey, we're not going to do this unless it's so and so." Send it back to the Senate, goes back to the House, and they vote. Now, the reason I bring this up, and when I bring this up, people say, "Well, the Senate has a filibuster." The filibuster is just a tool to hold up the voting. AOC and her group had enough people to do the exact same thing in a de facto sense in the House.
No.
What the fuck? Right? How do you fold? If indeed you're calling yourself like this other group of lefties, these people who are trying to get shit done, and the moment that you come into stress, fold. Marjorie Taylor Greene wouldn't have folded. Well, no. I'm sorry, she did fold. So fuck my thinking on that.
I mean,
it looks like we have things.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Musa Gaddafi over there on your channel, JT, says, look how many white Americans support ICE. They call ICE to raid work sites. Kamala had no chance.
Well, but Kamala Harris didn't have a chance because she was Kamala Harris.
I mean,
Kamala Harris never had a chance. Well, there's that. But if you remember, look, I have a conspiracy theory. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory at all. But I think the original plan was for Joe Biden to win and deploy her because they never believed she could win. If you remember when Clyburn was like, we need to pick a black woman.
Yeah.
And which, ends up being Kamala Harris. I forget the other woman in Georgia that wanted the spot, but it ended up being Kamala Harris. But the belief in the administration was that she could never win. That was the internal belief. And it had been an internal belief all the way up until the point where they thrust her onto the stage, in which case they're like, well, she obviously can win. she obviously can win. The people who told us that Joe Biden was sane, competent, had hard sex with his wife 4 times a week and once on Sundays, twice a month, that those people who lied to us the entire way through were the same people who turned around and said Kamala Harris is the best person for the job. It's just fucking weird.
Well, that was obviously true. I mean, they couldn't keep up with him in the White House. So, I mean, Joe Biden was full of vigor, and he was an intellectual giant. I mean, I don't know why you're peddling these right-wing conspiracy theories, being ageist and stuff. You should really check your leftist credentials there, JT. You sound an awful lot like a right-winger right now.
Yeah.
I mean, how dare you? How dare you?
How dare you? I don't. Yeah, I don't care. Like it's just true. Like it's not about left or right. It's just true. He was a shit president.
Well, Stacey Abrams.
That's her name, Stacey Abrams.
Yeah, because she was running for governor of Georgia, I guess, and she was going to be Kamala's biggest rival, I guess. And the only thing Stacey Abrams did was write some trashy smut novels that nobody read. So I guess if the idea is to fail downward, I guess that's one benchmark that you can use. But I don't know. It seems like that you have to have a record of some success at least. But I don't know. Maybe it's not required in today's politics.
The only reason. Look, there's a lag happening. I think my system is slowing down.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I think my system is slowing down. I'm sorry. All right, so this one, it says Democrats used Kamala Harris because they couldn't skip over the VP. The black, what was it? The black woman. Come on. The black woman.
The black woman VP, even though
black woman VP, even though.
Yeah, even though they knew that she'd lose white America, skip her, and lose the black vote forever.
No, because that is not the way the black vote works. Look, that is not, I don't know the race of the person who wrote that. That is not the way the black vote works. The black vote works on a very specific premise. It's worked this way for God knows how long. Who keeps the monsters at bay? Period. End of statement. Drop mic, leave the door, get in the car, and go somewhere else. Like it's the way it works. If Kamala Harris, if you had a candidate who's actually relatively good, it didn't matter whether the candidate was white or black. Go back to Obama for the moment. Obama wasn't the main person who they thought was going to win that race. They thought Clinton was going to win it. In fact, they thought Clinton was the obvious choice to win it. It was only after Iowa where they were like, hey, this guy may have some legs. It was the believability that Obama could win that made Obama a candidate from the standpoint of the black community. Up until that point, he didn't matter. He was a nobody. And I'm saying the same thing is true. Look, there would have been people who were Kamala supporters, the 0.2% of the population, and they would have been very upset. And they would have been slamming doors and spitting and everything else. Okay, I think they matter less.
Well, it's that
if a credible case could be made for a different candidate, they would have chosen a different candidate. They would have gotten over Kamala.
Well, I think that's a big part of it, but I think that they were married to her. Like there was no way to get rid of her. And when it comes to black women, I mean, honestly, Kamala is the worst one that they could have picked because she put black men in prison for pot when she laughed about smoking pot herself. No, so peak hypocrisy. And then when she was up and her poll numbers were underwater, her and Barack go on their little campaign spree and start lecturing black men about their sexism and not coming out to support the woman who is putting black men in jail for doing the exact same thing that she was doing. So again, I prefer my lies without hypocrisy. Just craft me a good quality lie and don't stain it with that hypocrisy. Tell me that you're going to bring the jobs back from China. Tell me that you're going to close the border and build a wall. Tell me that you're going to give me mass deportations. But don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining while you do it.
But black people didn't care about Kamala Harris. That's what I'm trying to say. I know a lot of people believe that, oh my God, there were ways of doing it. I mean, for one, if you would have had a primary, just had a primary. Meaning if you wanted to get rid of Kamala Harris, you do it through a primary system. That way you're not excluding her as VP. You make her run against other candidates where you know she's going to lose against those candidates. Meaning there was a way of doing it. But let's be honest, Joe Biden fucked over the party. Joe Biden knew what he was doing when he came out and was like, yeah, Kamala Harris is going to be my pick to run in the race, in which case now Democrats are effectively stuck with Kamala Harris because the president is just outed Kamala Harris. And by the way, he did this despite the fact that Obama wanted to have a conversation about having a primary.
Right.
Obama knew she couldn't win. That's wild. All of the subterfuge that was taking place behind the scenes, the Whispergate, the Whisper campaign to get rid of Joe Biden, that got louder and louder the longer Joe Biden stayed in the race, with David Axelrod coming out, putting a knife in Joe Biden, right off the bat. And it's there is no way on God's green earth that David Axelrod did that on his own without talking to Obama first.
No.
There's no way. There's no way. I don't believe it.
It's just peak irony that you have a party called the Democratic Party that runs a nominee that nobody voted for.
And nobody voted for.
Nobody voted for. In the Democratic Party.
And got crushed. Here's another data point. The Democratic Party believed that just on racial lines alone, that they were going to effectively ride off into the sunset with Republicans never being able to win another race, or at the very least another general election. And they got the shit wrong. Trump wins the general election in the Electoral College and in the popular vote. She got crushed.
Yeah.
Just
listen.
And they said that's sexist. Oh, that's sexist.
Well, it's not sexist. I mean, really, Kamala Harris, the only reason she got to where she is because all the calluses on her knees with Willie. I mean, that's why she got where she was. I mean,
that's so low.
But it's
that's
true.
So low.
But can you not? But can you deny it? But can you deny it?
No, I'm not denying it. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's literally how the woman got her. That's how she got her job. So instead of being a professional, being a madam in a whorehouse, she got to be the chief prosecutor in the state of California. So instead of just blowing off one guy, screwing one dude, she screwed an entire state. I mean, it's an amazing career accomplishment. And then you look at that record and say, that's who I want to run a national election. They're right there. That's what I want.
A lot of women have given more for less. So, it is what it is, I suppose. People get their thing. I mean, and what's funny about this, I wonder what people say if it was a guy doing that. Meaning if it was a guy who had sex with a chick in order to get political influence, would they trash him for it? I don't think they would. If it was Jamal Thomas, let's say Jamal Thomas was working with Governor Hillary Clinton just to create a fake world.
Yeah.
And Jamal Thomas had to get service, had to perform service, like Crixus and Spartacus. That's a reference for anybody who's seen Spartacus. Crixus had to do work for the madam. Crixus didn't like to do work for the madam because ultimately Crixus was being raped because he didn't have control in the situation with a slave. I guess my point is, if Jamal Thomas has serviced Hillary Clinton, there may be moments where Jamal Thomas doesn't hate that because powerful woman is a turn on. By the same token, I am doing it because I want something out of this deal. And what I want out of this deal is political influence. It's am I being trashed for that? I don't think as a guy you would trash me for that. Or would you trash me for that?
Well, depending on if you're married or not.
Oh, I think Robbie's frozen. Oh.
Well,
I'm not married.
I don't think I'm. I mean, listen, she wasn't married
at the time.
She wasn't, but Willie was. He was a married man.
Okay, let's assume that Clinton was married. Well, let's assume Clinton was married.
Yeah.
Would you trash me for it?
If you screwed Hillary Clinton, I'd ask what the hell is wrong with your eyes. No, I would say that there's something fundamentally wrong with your tracking system. If you look at Hillary Clinton, that's what I want.
Well, but again, this is not what I want. As you point out, Kamala Harris hooked up with Willie Brown in order to get political influence. Yeah. Maybe she had a thing for him, but ultimately she got political influence out of it. But I'm saying you're trashing her for it.
Well, she's saying if I hooked up with
Hillary Clinton, but she didn't get political influence from Montel. I guess I'm saying if I did that with Clinton, a man hooks up with Clinton in order to get political influence, would you trash me for it? I don't think it would be the same thing.
Here's the thing. It's the oldest thing in the book. I mean, sex and politics have always been linked together. I mean, it always has been. It always will be. It's human nature. People are gravitated to power, and I'll be called sexist for this, but it doesn't change the fact that women are attracted to powerful men. It doesn't matter if they have political power. It doesn't matter if they have wealth. That's why you have a ghoul like Jeff Bezos with this hot Latina chick with her fake boobs.
Women.
You're not answering my question, Robbie. I'm asking you a question.
No, I am answering. No, I am answering your question. I'm just trying to package this in a certain way. Power is an aphrodisiac. If you were a single man and if she was a single woman and y'all did this and say, hey, I will do this for you in exchange for this, it happens every single day. I would just hope that whoever it is that wets your willy is at least competent at her job, and that whoever it is that wets your willy isn't a moron, and that you'll promote the best cocksucker for the job. Don't give me an incompetent cocksucker.
Look, and the thing that
give me a competent cocksucker. I'm not dodging. What I'm saying is, you're going to have a buffet of women who are coming to you, Mr. Thomas. I would like to do something for you in exchange for this position. Treat it as an audition, if you would. But just give me someone who's competent.
But see, I'm flipping this. I'm saying she is in a position of power. I am the one who wants something out of it. Meaning I want the political position for it. She's married. I know she's married, but I am doing this because A, she wants it, and B, I think I'm going to get political position out of it. I don't think you would trash me for that. That's the point that I'm making. I mean, I would.
I would, and here's why: is because it's a violation. Because it's a violation of the marriage vows. So for me, that's very sacred. The marriage vows are sacred. So if you're married,
okay,
I'm sorry, you drink out of your own cistern. That's what you do. That's how it has to happen.
Wait, you drink out of your own cistern?
You drink out of your own cistern. You get your water out of your own well. You don't jump the fence and go steal water out of your neighbor's well. I'm saying this because in case there's kids watching. You don't bang another dude's wife in the vernacular.
Use the term "find the best cocksucker" if you're going to get.
Fair enough.
You can't pull that out, like just in case kids are watching. I just want to, I want to be PC, just in case.
I was trying to be funny. The
that's funny. No, that's funny. That's funny as all hell.
But no, I mean, listen, sex and politics, just like sex and money, it's baked in. It's going to happen. It always happens. It's the human condition.
By the way, the journalist thing too. Like when people, in order to get stories, how they would send very attractive aides in order to. Yeah, oh God, man, that stuff is. I didn't know anything about it until at the radio station, and people were telling me how that shit worked behind the scenes. It's just wow. That's all. It's I agree with you. Sex and politics, they go hand in hand.
It always has. King David and Bathsheba, right there. I mean, he killed her husband to get her. So I mean, it happens.
As I told my mom, she did it wrong. Watching Beverly Hills Housewives has taught me so much. It's taught me so much. What you're supposed to do as an attractive woman is marry old and rich, or at the very least, old and well off. Then within a few years, divorce that man after you have 2 kids. Yeah. And then as you're older, you get a young guy. that's the way the shit works. When you watch all of the women on Beverly Hills Housewives, they did shit like that. Like they would, it would be like, let's say a 30-something dating somebody who's like in their 60s.
Yeah.
Or it might be somebody in their 40s dating somebody in their 60s or 70s.
But here's the thing though. Usually,
pop out kids, sue the husband, well off for the rest of their life, and get a young man as they get older.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, usually in real life, typically, and I'll probably be called sexist for this, but whatever, it's fine. It's biology. You don't have to, if you're going to get mad at somebody, get mad at God. He made it. Men typically don't chase women for status and power. Usually it's women who chase men, and it's because women, as they get older, their value in the sexual marketplace decreases. They get older, their tits sag. I mean, they're just not as attractive. Whereas men, whereas men, it doesn't matter. I mean, you could be like Donald Trump, a ghoul who brags about you can grab a woman by their pussy and they'll like it because you're a celebrity and you're rich. It's because of the power dynamic. That's why.
But that goes both ways. I'm telling you, that goes both ways. An older woman who's rich can
but there's more rich men. But there's more rich men than there are rich women. Is the point I'm making, especially in terms of political power.
I know, but I'm pointing out that's a class issue. That's an environmental issue. That's not a biology issue.
Well,
that works
women.
Both ways. That's the point I'm making.
Well, women. One of the reasons why they like to.
More men have more money and more political power.
Well, one of the reasons why women like to have so much plastic surgery is because they're trying to maintain their value in the sexual marketplace.
Yeah, and it doesn't work because they look better.
Of course not. But that's the point. I mean, women as women get older, I mean, they decrease. I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm just my wife, God bless her, I love her. She's the hottest black woman that I know. I married her, love her, but she doesn't look the same way that she does now. When we got married, when we were 25, and I don't look the same as I did. I know,
that's what I'm trying to point out.
But that affects women more than it does guys. I guess what I'm trying to say.
It affects women more only because they've been, from a societal point of view, there's certain sections of the population, let's say in Beverly Hills, for example, that have a certain idea of attractiveness that seems to be really fucked up.
Yeah.
Like meaning
for sure.
The way they get plastic surgery is to their detriment, not to their betterment, but yet it's like a class thing. Like they think it's okay. They think that this looks okay. But I think that looks okay because they're used to looking at each other in the way that they're looking at each other. Most
one of the
people don't have resources to do shit like that.
No, I agree. But one of the big me and my wife, for people who are here on JT's show who don't know me, I'm married to a black woman. And one of the things we talk about is when we were first dating and stuff, when we first got married, she used to straighten her hair. And I was like, no, Kizzy, don't do that. Just seriously, just go natural. I mean, you can roll it up, rock a fro. I said, seriously, I mean, you don't have to look like these skanks in Hollywood. Be yourself.
I would never, Robbie, I would tell you, I would never, when my wife or girlfriend used to ask me, how does this look? I would say, your looks are your business. I am a radical on the independent stuff. I want you to be you. I don't want to be involved.
See, unlike you, JT, I'm an idiot. And there are my special skill as a married man. Listen, God bless her. This October is our 20th wedding anniversary. She's been putting up with my pasting white butt for 20 years on October 14th. I have no idea. This woman she's either a saint or a masochist. I don't know which. Maybe both. But it's just like serious. It's like you are a beautiful woman. Just be natural. You don't have to make yourself look like these people on TV or on media. Be you.
But she's
just
not.
Be you.
She's being her. She's being her.
No, this
because she's not. She's not trying. Like
no, she would do her hair. She said. Well, because like for example, she would say one of the reasons she wants to do this is because women at church are going to look at me funny. I said, so what? You're the only black woman in the church. You're in Kalispell, Montana. You're the only one here. People are going to look at you. We are well past that. The horse is out of the barn. We are so far beyond this point. You just forget it. Just be you. If someone's going to like you for who you are, what your hair looks like doesn't matter. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is that you don't have to, if you have to conform to society's norms because you think someone's going to think less of you, then that person doesn't deserve your friendship to begin with. Be yourself. Be authentic.
Yeah. That's the whole thing of, like, the people who care, you know, they matter. The people who don't matter. Right? Like, why do you care?
The people who care about you are going to care about you regardless. Your hair,
right?
Like, I did not marry her for her. The only time she ever wore weave was on our wedding, and it was beautiful. JT, you just had this long black weave, and it was just amazing. And our wedding, it was either going to be the most stellar wedding or it turned to a race war. It's going to be one or the other. And it turned out it was just a great time. But that's a story for another day. But no, seriously,
I don't think this is. I think this stuff is.
Be comfortable in your own skin.
I think this is agreed. I mean, to the degree that you can, like, if you, like, not everybody's got their own skin in general, but I think a lot of this stuff is brought about by economic circumstances, and when the economic circumstances change, the behavior remains consistent among men, women, and vice versa. I agree with you. Women, look, a man could be a millionaire, see a cashier at McDonald's,
and pick her up
and bring her home and make her his wife. Like, there's no issue about it. Zero issue, right? I don't think that's true for women.
It's not.
I don't think a woman is, like, cruising in her Lexus and sees the checkout guy and it's like, oh, he's cute, I'm going to bring him home and marry that guy. I don't think that she looks at it that way. Just as a general, I don't think she does. Could she? Yes. Meaning, could she pull somebody who's in her 20s? Absolutely. But
it would be harder for her too.
You think so?
I think so.
What? You don't think men will hook up with an older woman?
I think it depends on the guy, because a lot of guys, I think a lot of guys in their heart of hearts, even if they don't want to admit it, want to be with somebody who can give them kids. Now, depending on the age of the woman, if you're past childbearing age, for a lot of guys, this is probably going to be a deal breaker because they'll have a family.
I don't.
But you're the exception. But you're the exception to the rule.
I don't think I'm the exception.
But you're the exception to the rule.
Well, especially people who are in their 20s, they may not, I mean, like Ted talked about how he hooked up with, like, 60-year-olds.
Sure.
Shit like that when he was younger. Like, and he even talked about, like, how he had a thing for Vonderland. And it's like, what the fuck? Really? He's like, yeah. You know, she can talk German to me and, you know, say bad things to me, like in German. It turns me on. Some shit like that.
I guess it also depends on what you mean by. I guess it also means about what you mean by picking up. Are you talking about a one-night stand or a relationship? Because those are two different things.
I think a woman. I think Miriam Adelson, as horrible as she looks,
oh my
could
God,
get a 20-year-old with the amount of money that she has at her disposal.
Oh, especially.
I think, and I'll go further. And by the way,
especially an Israeli Nazi, like, you know, he'd go on there and have that nice little IDF tattoo, like right there on his arm, like,
oh, I'll make sweet, turned on by.
I'll make sweet love to you. I'll tell you about how I'm killing Palestinian kids.
Yeah, right. Tell me, you know, about the blood of the people that you get murdered. So, yeah,
I'm talking about humans, not lizards.
No, true. But women, put it this way, there are many women who, and this conversation's gone off the rails, because we'll talk about electric arms. But
usually our conversations do go off the rails.
Well, many of the women seemingly hook up with the older men for the point of security. Basically, I'm with this guy. He can take care of me. I'm secure. Whether I love him or not is secondary to the point. It's security. And I think men will do the same thing. I don't think this is just a singular process. I think men and women were socialized differently, and it has different outcomes, but those different outcomes are being modified based upon economic differences that may be changing over time. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm talking on my ass. But, you know.
Well, I think it depends. Like, also, if you're just talking about just a short-term sexual relationship or someone who wants to have a family. If you don't have a family, you're not going to be with some 60-year-old woman.
Well, the family will be a deal breaker. a family would be a deal breaker. I mean, there would be financial inducements, obviously.
Yeah.
But whether you're going to have a baby or not would be an issue. That's right.
I mean, it's going to depend on the guys. I'm just saying that the majority of men want to have a kid, and part of the reason why men are in such a bad shape right now, financially, and the suicide rate and everything else, is because they can't afford to even start a family. I think that's one of the big problems that we're having right now, as well, corporately in the West and specifically here in the United States. And to kind of bring this thing back to the election, those are some of the questions that the Republicans and the Democrats both have got to come to terms with, or they're going to run into a real problem with male rage. We've only seen toxic masculinity. Keep going with what they're doing right now, and things are going to blow up. Seriously.
Yeah. No, I agree. Something needs to change. I guess the catch becomes, do Americans, they're sloshing back and forth, and they don't have the outlet. Like, meaning, for the longest time, even now, you would hear people say, voting is the most important thing that you could do. Voting is important. Voting is this, voting is that. And they seem to miss that the purpose of voting is for political change and to go in a particular direction. It's not about just the process of voting in itself. Right, but it's not about, like, we're just voting just to vote, and then we go back to our life. It's not that. That's not the way it works. We've given, like, license. It's almost like we look at it like, we do our job, you should do your job.
Right.
And they're like, well, thank you for that. And we're going to do whatever the hell we want, since you're not really paying attention to what we're actually doing. And we'll spend a huge amount of money after the fact to convince you that we've been doing all sorts of things. We've been fighting hard for whatever, and then we'll go back to whatever the hell we were doing, which was basically nothing. Okay, the American public seems to be, okay, we want something different. But then if you ask them, okay, well, how do you get that difference? I would wager to you that they have no idea. We've been, look, from my point of view, we are trapped in a political system that both political parties has effectively gamed the system to say, these are the bounds that we're willing to go in our conversations and the things that we're effectively willing to do, which leaves the public no outlet because you only have two political parties. It's almost like you have two companies that do gas, and both companies have come to some decision on keeping the price high. So the American public gets fleeced. And it's like, okay, well, what does the public do? Well, you only have two gas companies. Yeah, we only have two gas companies. We can only buy from one or the other. This one is a penny less than the other. Okay, now figure this shit out. That seems to be the way this has been gamed out with the political parties, whether they're doing it intentionally or not, meaning whether they talk in this way of having this kind of kabuki theater of stuff, or whether it's more organic to the sense of, well, it takes work to do shit. We're paid not to do shit, so we're not going to do shit because we're paid not to do shit.
Well, both parties have the same donors.
It's a scam. That's the point that I'm trying to make. It's a scam. And if you're an American voter who is continuously told, you got to vote, you got to vote, voting is the thing you're supposed to do. Okay, well, it's not about the vote. It is, but it's not entirely. The voting is one part of that process. It's not the end all be all of the political process, but the way we tell people it, I don't know.
No, I agree.
Shit doesn't work in the way this is modeled out.
No.
And the American public is in a position where it doesn't know where to go.
Yeah, Miss Bits over here on your channel says this is honestly the best election coverage of the night. What's going on right here on your channel?
Oh, we're talking all sorts of shit. This is the latest electoral thing, by the way, just so people.
Okay, now, I'm going to jump off here soon.
Program. Oh, you're fine. I'm going to cover it out, so you're perfectly fine. Just tell me when you need to go. This is Abdul El Saeed, 51.1%. Haley Stevens, the AIPAC-backed candidate, 45.3%. His lead is maintaining. There are 28% of the votes that are in. So we're 1/4 of the way through, a little bit more than 1/4 of the way through. I want to do have Cory Bush on here.
Obviously, that lady in third place is obviously a Putin puppet, and she was she was paid specifically to steal the elections from Stevens.
Yep. If it wasn't for her 2%, Haley Stevens would have totally won. I don't see Missouri yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything on there either.
Honest, they may be a little bit in the rears of us.
Yep. Oh, and we got a $20 donation from the Dead Men Club. More night streams if y'all can. sometimes hard for me to catch the morning streams live because of work. Keep doing God's work, gentlemen. I don't know if this is before or after the conversation about blowjobs, but we'll take it. Thank you. We're always trying to keep it real with me and JT.
Right. Right. It's like cocksucker over and over again. It's like you guys are doing God's work. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
You know something, JT? I mean this sincerely. You're one of my favorite lefties. I swear to you, I love you. I would vote for you for president. I absolutely love you.
Well, thank you, Robbie. You wouldn't want me to be president, though. I have bad tendencies. I know myself well enough to have bad tendencies.
Listen, if you get to be president, I want you to make me a press secretary. Let me deal with the press.
It's like, yeah, I don't think you would want me as president. I don't think I would be a good president. I mean, for one, I question myself a lot, which is very difficult to do if you're a president. No, as a president, it's less so.
No, it's foundational.
I mean, listen, you don't want to dither.
No, I mean, seriously, if anytime that you're making a big decision, if you don't question yourself, and if you don't have a large circle of advisors to bounce ideas off of, you are screwing up. You've got to have, you got to have the humility to realize that you're not God and that you don't know everything, especially whenever you're dealing with issues that will impact millions of people. And then you've got to have the humility to ask people questions, weigh those opinions. Ultimately, the final decision is yours. But you owe yourself to get every fact that's available. Doesn't matter if you agree with them or not. The best thing you do is have a team of rivals that despise each other and that clash philosophically, because the truth is most likely somewhere in the middle. That's what you want. And that's why I think you'd be a good president, because you're open-minded enough to ask broad questions and then actually listen to the answers.
Well, I would be ideological, though. I mean, like, meaning I am on the left, and I would be. But I would be honest. I think I would try to my best to be honest. Like, meaning you would know who I am. Like, it would just be clear. Like, I would be my best to be transparent in the way that I operate. And yeah, I would try to do the best for the country. Like, meaning it wouldn't be, and basically the only way I think that works is if you take all of the money, you promise everybody everything, and then you get in office, you just do whatever the fuck you want. It's like you just ride this boat till it's be like, all right, I may have one term, but damn it, I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try to knock the shit out of the park. But the rub is if you knock it out the park, people will put you back in office. That's the rub. If you do what you say you gonna do, they will put you back in office. You can have a dynasty over that shit.
Yeah, so that's what you need to do.
You have to do what you do.
I mean, listen, I will never be elected to office, but if I ever was, and I mean this sincerely, that my goal would be to get as many opinions as I possibly could and never, ever, ever compromise on my principles. And whatever decisions I make would be made based off the information available, be factual, consequences be damned. And I would start with closing the borders and mass deportations.
Well, I know that's what you would start.
So I mean, I would be. I mean, I would be incredibly transparent. So, I mean, love me or hate me, at least you're going to know where I stand.
See, that's the beauty of Ron Paul. That was always the beauty of Ron Paul. Like, meaning whatever you thought of Ron Paul, you could have thought some of his ideas were kooky and everything else. Half of what he was saying made perfect sense, right? Like, this is the problem with libertarians. Half of what they say make perfect sense. And then they take the shit too far and jump off of a cliff. Like, especially the ones that are like, we just need to get government out of it. Okay, yeah, so we can have private militias of companies fighting each other in order to define rules and shit like that. But half of what they say makes perfect sense. And it's like, even if you dislike Ron Paul in its entirety, you knew where he stood. Same thing with Rand Paul. You knew where he stood. Like he was transparent for the most part in how he presented himself, which, frankly, I always appreciate.
Yeah, well,
it's far better than the cloak and dagger shit.
I would rather vote for somebody who listen. I would vote for someone who I disagree with, but who's being honest, than someone who is who just lies all the time, and you can't pin them down on anything. It's like trying to nail Jell-O to a wall. It's just there's no substance there.
Speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up. Nailing Jello to a wall. Let's talk about foreign policy for a bit. Donald Trump is, in the realest sense of the word, losing his fucking mind. Yep. He is out of his fucking mind. And I listen to some of the stuff he says, and I think to myself, does he really believe this? Like, meaning, when he's saying this, is he? Because I got to be honest, I am beginning to not be sure what's true, or whether he's lying, or whether he believes the stuff that he is saying, because it blows my mind. This is whoa, wait a minute, CNN is reporting something different. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Maybe we're in the rears. Maybe we're missing something. The CNN is reporting a different measurement between the two. God damn it, I lost track. Okay, breaking. Polymark calls a victory for Abdul El Said in Michigan Democratic Senate primary. They're saying a 98% chance. Polymark is going with a 98% chance that Abdul El Said wins the race. Yep. Yeah, that's amazing in and of itself. All right, so Mark. This is Donald Trump earlier today. And just to be very clear, nothing of what is said here is true, accurate, or even close to true and accurate. This is, let me see, what is this? Yeah, right, okay. Okay, this one is too long. Okay, but I'll still play it. I'll play part of it. He's asked a basic question because reporters, look, the reporting thing is fascinating to me because reporters are like, they would ask him flat questions and Donald Trump would say something that contradicts everything that has come out in regards to leaks, or in regards to just analysis of either the quantity of missiles, the Strait of Hormuz. He still claims the Strait of Hormuz is open. Iran bombed the ship earlier today, indicating that the Strait of Hormuz is obviously not open. Bloomberg has even reported that only 6 ships went through. And yet you get Rubio still claiming, well, the Strait of Hormuz is open. You get CENTCOM claiming the Strait of Hormuz is open. It's not. The military is lying to us directly. Like, meaning this is not just the Trump administration doing it. CENTCOM is doing it, which means CENTCOM is lying. This is Trump earlier today after being asked a question by a reporter on the war in Iran, because obviously article after article is coming out saying that Donald Trump has effectively lost the war. And the White House or somebody in the military is sending out a request for ideas, for creative solutions to, quote, punish Iran because they've run out of ideas.
I want to give every last chance. What is your, Mr. President, this is at least the 5th time off airstrikes against Iran since April to negotiate. What is your message to the American people who are wondering what has changed this time? Why should it be any different?
Well, no, I don't know. I think we're going to maybe get something, but I want to give them every last chance before decapitation. Very tough to do what we have planned, still planned. We'll see what happens. But it's a very, very tough thing to do. I think I'm very proud that I'll give people a chance. This is a big move. To do an attack that big on a country, I'd rather not do it. Now, we've already through lots of large attacks, but they were normal large. Hopefully they'll come to their senses, because what happened cannot have a nuclear weapon, but hopefully they'll come to their senses. So they called me and they said, please don't attack, we'll make a deal. That's the real truth. And everyone knows it. And who wouldn't call? And they found out through leaks and sleazebags, a lot of sleazebags, leakers. Leakers should be put in jail. They have to strengthen up the laws for leakers. But in this case, leakers helped because they said the severity of the attack. And Iran knew it. They knew what was coming. It was going to come last night, and it would have gone on for a long
new normal big attack.
It'd be very little thing left. And if I
okay, now I needed to stop that because I have very low tolerance for listening to Trump. And two, all of that were just lies. Like the idea that Iran called Trump is nonsense. And this idea that this was going to be the largest strike since World War II. Okay, well, for one, it was impossible for him to do that.
Yeah.
Meaning we don't even have the armaments to pull off something like that he is talking about. And keep in mind, in World War II, we dropped nukes. So he is trying, and if we're talking about like Vietnam, we dropped more bombs on Vietnam than we dropped in the Second World War. So when he's making this argument, this is nonsense. Unless he's willing to drop nukes, and a lot of them, then he's full of shit because we don't have the armaments. Then he's bringing up this thing about negotiations. Iran was negotiating with Oman, not the US. Donald Trump is trying to claim that negotiations with Oman is synonymous with negotiations to the United States, which I suppose the US is trying to say that it's working with Oman. Okay, again, this is nonsense. Iran has come out recently, I think it was earlier today, and made the point of saying, hey, in order for any deal to go through, we need the US to effectively fulfill the memorandum of understanding. Now, the reason they said it this way is because what they're pointing out is, okay, if Donald Trump is claiming that the US, is working with Oman, okay, then the other things need to be fulfilled before the strait is open, meaning before we do anything, before we initiate any plan with you. If indeed the US is going to claim it's working with you, then we're not going to work with you. Basically, you need to fulfill these obligations before we do anything. I mean, it's wild. He is like, and then he's blaming leakers because the leaks are coming out effectively saying, we don't have the weapons, we don't have the materials, we've gone through 80% of air defense, 50% of stand-up munitions. I think like that is like down 80% or something like that. And here's a question, Robbie. Why do you think that the leaks are coming out like this?
I'll answer this, and I have to jump out. I think that the leaks are coming out for a couple of reasons. One, I think that there's some people that are in the administration, especially in the military, that realize that this is a fool's errand. That there is no military solution to this. The best that Trump can hope for is to get back to the way things were before the war started. And I don't think that's ever going to happen. And the reality is that Trump has lost this war, and it's time for people to stop dying.
Yeah. Agreed. Robbie?